Imagine you're looking up at the night sky, seeing thousands of stars, but suddenly there's a danger lurking above. It's not an alien invasion, but something much closer, something that could disrupt life on Earth as we know it. Welcome to the world of Kessler Syndrome, where space debris threatens to create a catastrophic chain reaction. Is space safe anymore? Let's dive into it. Hey there, welcome to the channel. Have you ever wondered about what happens to all the trash we send into space? Well, today we're going to talk about something that could be even more dangerous than space junk. It's called Kessler Syndrome, and it could turn our peaceful view of the night sky into a chaotic, hazardous mess. So, grab a seat, and let's explore what Kessler Syndrome is, how it works, and what could happen if we don't fix the growing problem of space debris. Alright, let's start with the basics. Kessler Syndrome is a term used to describe a runaway chain reaction of space debris collisions. The name comes from a scientist, Donald Kessler, who first proposed the idea in 1978. Imagine this. There are millions of pieces of debris orbiting Earth, from tiny fragments of satellites to spent rocket stages. Every time one of these pieces crashes into another, it creates even more debris. And here's where it gets scary. These tiny fragments are moving at insanely high speeds, up to 17,500 miles per hour, 28,000 kilometers per hour. When they collide, they explode into even more debris, and this debris keeps multiplying. It's like a never-ending cycle of destruction, creating an environment where space becomes too dangerous for satellites, spacecraft, and even astronauts. Imagine space as a giant highway. Right now, it's pretty clear there are a few cars, satellites, and spacecraft on the road, but over time, more and more cars get added, and eventually, accidents happen. These accidents cause debris to scatter all over the road, but instead of just stopping the traffic, these accidents create even more debris, making it harder for anyone to travel safely. This is exactly what Kessler Syndrome would do to space. One collision could create hundreds or even thousands of pieces of debris. These tiny pieces might not seem dangerous at first, but their speed makes them deadly. Even a small shard of debris could destroy a satellite or spacecraft in an instant. If Kessler Syndrome spirals out of control, Earth's orbit could become littered with debris, making space travel nearly impossible. And this is not just a hypothetical threat, it's already happening. So, why does all this matter? Well, think about it. Space is crucial for things we rely on every day. From GPS systems to weather forecasting, satellite communication, and even space exploration, we depend on satellites and spacecraft to keep our world running smoothly. But if Kessler Syndrome takes over, we could lose all that. Imagine if you were an astronaut, heading to the International Space Station, ISS, but you couldn't even launch your spacecraft without the risk of hitting debris. Or if Earth's communications and navigation systems were knocked out because satellites were destroyed by collisions. It would be like living in a world without a map, without your phone, and without all the technology we've come to take for granted. The real concern is that we are creating more space debris every day. As space technology advances, we're launching more satellites, leaving behind more rocket stages, and even crashing old satellites into each other to clean up. But each of these activities adds to the problem. The more we add to space, the greater the chances of Kessler Syndrome becoming a reality. Scientists are now warning that we're getting close to a tipping point where debris could start multiplying exponentially. This is something we can't ignore. Here's the good news. It's not too late to stop Kessler Syndrome from taking over. Scientists and engineers are working on solutions to clean up space debris and prevent further damage. Some ideas include space debris removal. There are concepts for giant robotic arms or nets that could grab debris and remove it from orbit. Satellite end-of-life plans. We're also looking at ways to make sure satellites are decommissioned properly, so they don't become a hazard. Smarter designs. Creating satellites that break down or burn up in the atmosphere after their mission ends is another step toward keeping space safer. But we need action now. The more we delay, the bigger the problem gets. In the end, Kessler Syndrome is a reminder that even in the vastness of space, we are vulnerable to the dangers we create. If we don't act now, we might be looking at a future where space is so cluttered with debris that it becomes almost impossible to use. But by understanding the problem, supporting new technologies, and working together, we can prevent Kessler Syndrome from becoming a reality. So, let's take care of space, the final frontier, before it's too late.